Today I want to talk to you about retail innovation. Retail is a curious beast. It's crazy when you think about it, but retail, if you look back over history, cycles every 30 to 40 years, like clockwork. Go back to 1850s, Macy's and the rise of the department store. Then in 1890, you have Sears and its famous catalog. Then in 1920, again, almost 30 years later, you have Sears opening up their first department stores across the country. Then in the 1950s and 1960s, you have the first shopping mall here, right in our hometown of Minneapolis. And then in the 1960s, very quickly thereafter, you have Walmart, Kmart, and Target all starting in 1962. Now at that point in time, I call that the mass productization of America. Essentially, the shopping malls and mass merchants started dominating the country, making product widely available to everyone, but at a cost. The cost was, it wasn't personalized. The experience you had in any of those stores was the same in New Jersey as it was in California. Because at that time, stores were the only way we had to acquire products. Sure, you could get catalog, but it was still a small portion of the business and it had its drawbacks. But really, stores existed for 5 important reasons. 1 was inspiration, 2 was convenience, 3, immediate gratification, and then 4, the idea that I call taction, touching, feeling, and trying things on. Confidence in a purchase. And 5, of course, just the sheer memory and experience and delight of being somewhere. But that all changed in the mid-90s when Amazon came to the fore. Amazon, throughout the 90s and then especially in the 2000s, began to say to the consumer and especially to the retail industry, you know what, those first 3 things, inspiration, immediate gratification, and convenience, well, I got news for you. We can do them as well, if not better than you can. And the reason for that is because what they get a moniker for, and that's the everything store. With Amazon's vast selection, essentially I can have a personalized digital experience that's different for me than it is for, say, my colleagues at OmniTalk and in Carter. Everything is unique to the consumer experience that I want. And all that leaves now to differentiate from the physical from the digital in the future are really those last 2 points, taction and the experience and delight of being somewhere. But it's my opinion that even that 4th one, given advances in virtual reality, that one's also going to start to fall by the wayside as well. And the only difference then becomes the sheer memory and delight of going to a physical place. And so what does that mean? Well, what's scary is that if you believe in the historical timeline that I outlined, this next decade, 2020 to 2030, we're going to see that next big retail innovation. And we don't know what it is yet, but my money is on the fact that it's going to be a blend of what we've seen in the past. We've already seen the digital space become personalized. But now, how do you take the memory and experience of being somewhere and personalize that in a physical space too? That's where I think things are going. All of us walking into a space as individuals and feeling like it is uniquely different for me than it is for you. That's where I think retail is headed, and I'm excited about what that future could bring.